Good day to everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Here I'm actually into the garden. As you can actually see, um, when the garden had just started, I believe there was more space, which you can actually see between plants and it were not that developed as now. So as you can see, if you take a close look, you can see that there was plants which has been already harvested. There are plants which was already harvested and I already replaced one in its stead. Um, Due to the hurricane season, this tree had failed. So Hurricane Beryl had thrown down that planting, but I leave it there to see what it's gonna make. Whatever it make, I'm gonna use it for my home use, and I'm gonna eat this one. So far we're into the garden, and I'm really satisfied with the way I had done the dashings. It looks really fantastic. It looks really sweet. I hope that as I continue going, I'm gonna give them a little fertilizing and also going all the way to the top of the garden. So I've reached right up to the black tank. Did my cleaning up to reach to the black tank. So I want to work on that garden. Um, Give that garden all the necessity that it takes to get the plants off the ground. Okay. Yes, we have plants that is actually off the ground already. We also has replaced plants which I actually took off and plant over. We also had plants that we take off from a very long time now. For example, this one here. I've done videos where this one were actually still very small of a peeper. And that's how I plan those. I want them to get a fresh start. So this is one of them, and the others are there. So far, the garden is looking great. The dashings, I got a Tanya here. Just gonna use that for home. All the other dashings which are actually planted out. The land is really cleaned and looking very great. So what I need now is actually I need to get some of my other plants looking like the other plants. When I say this, I mean I want these plants to actually catch up, okay, go higher, start crowding the place a little bit. So far with the crowd, with the trees, I will say it doesn't really matter if you planting trees close, okay, fig trees close, it doesn't matter. That's what I actually get from it, okay. So I have a lot of figs still. See, if you can look in one stool, I have plants that actually I know not where to put, but this is going to be something I'm going to be working on, okay. All the plants that actually had cut off due to the hurricane, this one has gotten some severe damage, so I had to start it all over, but I'm not worrying. It has not there as yet, so it's going to jump back up. There are plants actually I have to get some staking for because they're going to be throwing any minute, and I have my last set of fertilizer to give to them. So what I really want to do, I'm going to be doing a big piece of staking. Also, I'm going to be doing a heavy piece of planting down because the area is clear, the place is really cleaned, and I need to actually get that going, okay. So far, if you're actually doing the garden, as you can see, when I started with just, if you can look closely, you can see a PVC pipe right here, that white. So that's a PVC pipe. So that's where I had started, okay. The plants have got it. It had round up to here, back down to where the planting tree had fell on the ground, and it came all the way down here. So I had actually most like maybe 50 plants for the most, and that's what I started with, okay. After my starting, I actually decided that I'm going to go further with it because the first start gave me a very good motivation, and this is actually what makes me continue doing what I'm doing. So if you can see here, these are plants which I have to actually take good care of. They're actually in a little bit of bush, but I have them on the edge, which I'm going to be continue going up. The sheep's right there, the young ones also in the bush. and today I have just finished a piece of cleaning. Okay, so I just did that piece of cleaning this morning. I haven't quite finished in the corner here as yet, but I'm looking to try to catch a slow fire here to continue burn up all that stuff. And then here is actually jumping up, so I can see the progress here. It's actually jumping up. There is the fig trees, plantains, they're heaving up. Okay, I can see that they're heaving up. So I'm not gonna say that here needs a lot of attention inside. It don't need a lot of attention because the plant compete with the other plant, and that keep the plant off the ground. So this here also is a planting which I have from the hurricane barrel, and it hadn't fall. But if you can look at the leaves very carefully, it had got some real lash from the hurricane, but it's still standing. Okay, so this is a tree that I have here. I hope that the stem doesn't break off and stuff like this. But this is one of the tree, and I'm gonna keep it propped up very good so that it don't fall. Okay, so this one is going pretty fine. I won't worry myself too much. So after I've done that cleaning up here, that was for today. My another job, I'm gonna be focusing on the top. Okay, I do have one or two plants that I'm gonna be throwing in between, and what I actually plan to do is I plan to plant mostly of the plantings. Okay, I plan to replace most of the plantings, and with the extra fig plants that I have, I am going to stick them on the corners because actually the fig take a longer time to bear. It doesn't bring in the revenue as actually you may like it to be. So the planting has a faster return, a faster turnover when it comes to doing the long-term crops. Okay, um, yes, 6 months time, 7 months time, 8 months time, 9 months time, you can get very good production from your tree throwing and starting its production to bear. Okay, so for here, I have a few plantings, I have a few figs, and I am kind of happy, right? I'm kind of happy in the sense that the place here is actually bushy. Okay, so this is gonna help the plantings, the figs, to actually strive through the bush. That's how plants get off the ground. Okay, they have to actually strive, push their head off the bush, and after you're giving them the cleanup, you're gonna see the difference. So I'm gonna start to be cleaning from right off the drum here or so, and I'm gonna be coming up with that piece of cleaning, and I may stop for tomorrow. I'm gonna clean out that section, and I'm gonna stop at least by the stump right there so, and then another day I'm gonna take it and finish it off. Okay, so I'm not gonna rush everything and do everything one time. Don't want to do it like this. I want to take my time. So in between, as I did my first plot layout, okay, so if I could say like I have one of my planting trees planted, and the distance between it is going to be like 3 feet. Okay, or let's say 4 feet, because I plant in sequence, I plant in rows. After I started cleaning, I'm going to see like, okay, based on how these two had grown, I believe I can actually have another plant in the center. So it's good to do so, but you have to actually have less plants into the stool. You don't want too much of competition for your plants, right? When I say your plants, not your mother plant, but the suckers which is going to be sending up around, you don't want any competition with this. And the second plant that you're going to be planting in the center of these two. So for instance, these two plants, I got this plant here, and I also got this plant right here. Based on how they grow and the leaves actually spread off, maybe I can put a plant right into the center, directly into the center here. But I will have to control the amount of suckers that actually grow from this plant to the amount of suckers that grow from this plant. Because when I'm manuring, or even when I'm watering, I don't want any competition between the plants. So the less suckers I have is the more tendency towards crop I'm going to be getting. Okay, so that is it for today, and I hope you all love what you're seeing, and as I said, in time to come, you're going to see the place transform real good. So I'm sweeping up all the stuff that I can actually get. So as I just got here today, I'm going to get my rake. I'm going to come and give it a very, very clean sweeping. Okay, and I'm going to burn the small bushes, um, light fire when dry season actually hits. I'm going to burn. So all for now, as I just cleaned up, as you can see here, this is a newly planted tree. I had a very nice planting tree here, but I don't know what had happened to it. I guess as much it had taken some sort of fungus or whatever it may be, and it didn't really strive. Okay, so that's something that you have to actually look forward to in farming. Okay, so it died. I decided to replace another one, and I'm going to be throwing some salt into that ground before I actually um, start the progress, because that's the first thing I did when I actually planted these set of plants. Okay, that's my first motto. I actually get some salts and I put into the soil together with the roots, because the plants I got it when I explained in my video, they were not healthy plants. Okay, they were not 100% healthy, but they could have actually started a process, and that's why I use them. So by using them, I actually get the salts, and the salt will give the roots a clear passage to actually absorb any nutrients that is into the soil without any sort of bacteria or fungus, and whatsoever, if they were there, the salts can actually help kill them out. So I'm going to get some more salts, and for my newly planted plants, I'm going to give them a dose of salt, give them a week. Whatever rain that fall, let it absorb and take in. And as soon as I see the transformation from the plant, I'm going to start giving them the urea. And the urea is the number one in the banana family. And I will tell you this because I have a little experience in using it. And the urea actually helps, gives the plant more roots to actually keep the plant up. Even though there are secondary suckers around the plant that help the plant stay firm, still you need good secondary plants, okay? You need good peepers to actually plant off. So giving them the urea is going to help establish the small roots from the small suckers roots and also the mother plant, okay? So when that plant actually throw and that plant bear off and that plant give whatsoever it needs to give off, you're going to have some powerful plant coming up right afterwards. So you're going to be leaving back one plant for the continuation of the process. This is going to be a planned plant already, and the rest of plants is going to be like profits. Okay, so you're going to take them and plant them off, and they're going to grow and they're going to give you more plants. And as you see the production going, you can tell yourself that, okay, yes, the field that I'm doing here, it's actually a real good field and it's benefiting and everything is looking okay. Okay, so that's it for today. And as I continue, as I said, I'm going to be going up to the top, and we continue doing that cleaning up, going right up to the top. And when I do clean up the land right up to the top, I'm going to sweep off all the bushes, gather them in a nice way, clear the land as clean as possible, as you can see here, so that the bush is going to take a very long time to come back up. And by these times I can actually do my manuring, I can do my replacement of plants, and if I have to transplant any plant or look at any plant deficiency to sort it out, this could actually happen. So also from this plant here, what I like with planting plants, any size you actually plant them, they start growing at that size. So that's why many persons prefer to plant planting on a large scale than figs. Okay, the fig is going to have to actually wait, take its time to develop until it reaches the top. But with the planting, this planting tree had planted just that size. And you can see the center leaf had actually on a roll, and it's actually ready to get the plant some shooting up. So this plant I can see is a very good plant which needs some fertilizer now. And the fertilizer is going to help it to give it more roots, to help get more water, more nutrients, and a little bit of boosting, and away that plant gone. So I had said I was going already, and sorry to say this, but there's going to be a little faceless video because I'm actually sweating here, maybe a little bit dirty also. So I'm not really good for viewing on the camera, but you all know the vlog, Daryl David Vlogs. So as I continue, I'm going to show you how the plant's going to be taking its time off the ground from time after time until it reaches the point in time where I can actually start harvesting. And when I'm harvesting, there are going to be techniques that I'm going to have to be showing you all so that you can actually use that into your garden, and you will feel very happy about it the way you actually harvest by not affecting your other plants. So thank you all for watching one of my videos. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you actually viewing, if you love the content, if you actually love what I'm doing. It's really good. One thing to say, this is actually my bottle of water, which I was doing yesterday when I started this work here. So it's a very good thing not to leave any water bottle into your garden with water in it. This help brings a lot of pests and diseases to your plants, which you don't want. So anything like plastic bags, things that can hold water in it, containers, old jugs, don't litter into your garden. That's where you get your production from. So the way you treat the garden is the way you're actually going to get, that's the results you're going to get. So I'm going to be heading out right now, and see you all in the next video.